Hello everyone, it is week 17A of our CSA shares for the 2024 season. Jumping right into this week's share, we have red radishes. The very first thing you want to do with red radishes is chop off the green tops. Store them separately in a Ziploc bag or a Debbie Meyer green bag. They can be cooked just like any of our other greens. Saute them, you can actually eat them raw. You can make green cubes out of them and throw them into smoothies. So lots of different things, just use your basic green recipe to saute them and cook them down or throw them into a salad. Your bulbs of the radishes, the bottom red part, gets stored in a separate Ziploc bag. They can be eaten raw. I like to slice them thin and serve them on top of salad. Love to pickle them and also love to roast them. There's a roasted radish recipe on the website. If you're not a fan of the spiciness of a red radish, please try the roasted radishes because they come out really good and totally alter the flavor of them. So that's our radishes. Stored separately, greens in one bag and radish bottoms in another bag in the fridge. We have our salad greens. Our salad greens get stored just like this in the bag they came in. Do not wash them until you're ready to use them. Put them in the fridge. Once you're ready to use them, big bowl of water or sink full of water, throw them in the water, swish it around, get them nice and clean, pull them out, throw them into your salad spinner, get them nice and dry, and lightly dress them. You can make a big salad, so add lots of toppings, or just lightly dress the greens and serve that as a side. So it makes an amazing side for something like a quiche or a frittata, a breakfast dish. Or I think we're having either burgers or steak tonight, so we're gonna make a big salad with the salad greens. So those are our salad greens. We have romaine lettuce. So romaine lettuce looks like this. It's a little bit taller. I'm gonna explain the difference between our two large heads of greens in a second, but romaine is hardy. It's great. It's the leaves are sturdier, so you can use them as like a wrap. You can chop them up and use it in salad. You can use them as a vessel for a taco instead of your taco shell or your taco wrap. You can also do grilled romaine. Great for a Caesar salad. So options there. So this is what our romaine looks like. Nice and green, a little bit taller. That's how the bottom looks. Compared to our escarole. So see how escarole is squattier, much curlier leaves, it's kind of the similar green, but then when you flip it over, see how nice and white the bottom is? That's how I tell the difference between the two. So escarole and romaine are both stored in Debbie Meyer green bags in the fridge until you're ready to use them. Escarole can be used raw or it can be cooked. You can saute it just like our greens. So use our sauteed greens PDF. Or there's an amazing salad that calls for its escarole, its apples. So if you're getting the fruit share, that pairs really well with escarole, and dates. You could add nuts to it, but it's a really good base and really showcases the nice flavor of escarole. Escarole is full of amazing benefits, nutrients, lots of vitamins, so it's really good to eat. Escarole is also amazing in soup. So you could use it since we're getting cooler weather and we're kind of pushing towards soup season. You could use it in your soups as well. We have dill. Dill gets stored in the fridge. You can either store it in a bag, or I like to store it upright in a glass of water. You can use dill in the dill dip, which is on the website. It can be used in our pickles, which are on the website. If you're going to make pickled radishes, you can add dill to that as well. You can also preserve this. So you can dehydrate it and dry it and then break it up and use it as a dried dill, or you can put it between paper towels and lay it nice and flat in a Ziploc bag and throw it into the freezer and preserve it that way. So different ways to preserve dill. But really good addition. You can make dill butter coins believe there's a recipe somewhere on the website for those. You can do like a potato. You could do actually the herb potato salad using the dill. That would be delicious. And we have all these beautiful potatoes this week also. So that would be an option as well. We have potatoes. Potatoes get stored in a cool, dry place away from our onions and our garlic. These can be roasted. They can be grilled. They can be sauteed. They can be shredded and used in our potato wraps or in fritters. There's a potato crusted quiche on the website. You could boil them and do a mashed potato. You could do a mashed potato bar with lots of different toppings. So those are our potatoes. We have tomatillos. Tomatillos can get stored in the counter in a bowl just like this. Leave the husks on, or you can store them in the fridge. Personal preference, whatever you like. Tomatillos generally are either roasted or grilled before using, and they make amazing green salsas or green sauces. So they're really good if you grill them up or roast them with garlic and onion, and then just puree that, chop it up, create a sauce. It can be a chunky sauce, or you can really blend it and make a smoother sauce, or you can do a green salsa. That's an option too if you want a Mexican dish. We have acorn squash for today. On Thursday, you will be receiving a delicata squash. These get stored in a cool, dry place. Once you're ready to use them, they can be roasted, they can be grilled, they can be thrown into soups. You can roast them, puree them, and freeze them. Pretty much all of our squashes can be used in baked goods as well. So any of the recipes you find on the blog that calls for squash, you can kind of intermix your squash recipes. So maybe it calls for coconut squash. You can use delicata instead. The flavor will change, but based on what you have on hand, you can use the different squashes. Acorn, our favorite way to eat it is slice it in half, scoop those seeds out, roast it, and then add a little butter and maple syrup and serve it just like that. Delicata, I love grilling, so slicing it into rings, removing those seeds, and then throwing it on the grill. Delicata is fantastic on top of a fall salad. So you could do this with some fruit on top of the salad greens. That would be amazing. We have tomatoes. Tomatoes like to be room temperature, so rinse them off, store them on the counter. These can be made into a roasted tomato soup. You can do a roasted tomato sauce. You can slice them up and just sprinkle a little salt on them. If you made the basil salt from, I think the herb recipes were just this last week. If you still have basil left, make some basil salt. And I've just been slicing up the tomatoes, sprinkling a little bit of the basil salt on, and eating them just like that as a snack. But these are served great, just sliced on top of burgers, on top of sandwiches, just as a snack, on top of your salads, or roasted tomato sauce, roasted tomato soup. All great options. We have our sweet peppers. Sweet peppers are stored in the fridge in your crisper drawer. I just made a big batch because I wanted to get rid of all the sweet peppers I still had left. So last night we made a big batch of the sheet pan fajitas. So that recipe is on the blog. We ate it for dinner, and then the boys have been bringing it for lunches to school. So that's a great option to use up some onions and some sweet peppers. Great just served raw on top of a salad, or raw, throw them into a bowl and serve them as a side or as a snack for lunch or for before dinner. What else? There's a, what do I call it? Roasted peppers. I think it's from either last year or the year before, but we grill up the peppers and then put them in olive oil with some garlic, let them marinate, and just have roasted peppers. Great for a charcuterie board. So that's an option also if you have a lot of roasted peppers laying around. Last but not least, we have hot peppers. Lots of different varieties. You got to pick 3 of them. This week's recipe will showcase our hot peppers. These get stored in the fridge in your crisper drawer. They are used to add heat to a recipe. So you can chop up some and add heat to a salsa. You can add heat to a chili, add heat to a soup. If you keep the seeds and the membranes included, so just chop everything up, you will add more heat. The heat of a pepper tends to lay in those membranes, and the seeds are attached to the membranes, so there's also heat in the seeds. So you can kind of determine your level of heat by 1, picking your type of hot pepper, and 2, by including those seeds and membranes or not including the seeds and membranes. Hot pepper honey is on the website. It's an amazing recipe. I'm actually making a batch of that this week along with this week's recipe, which you will see on Thursday, which will showcase all of our hot peppers as well. That is it for this week. Oh, and we got to pick your own pumpkin, but mine is already washed and on our front porch on display. So that was also part of our CSA share for this week. So that's it. Any questions, please make sure you tag me. Any fun recipes that you have that are using any of these ingredients, make sure you place them on the Facebook group for everyone to see and share and try for themselves. And I will see you guys all again next Tuesday.